alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Yusuf Ahmad Hanan, your host for today's program. I'm excited today to be with our guests Halimatu Sadia Hassan and Rahmatu Gibrin Tutu to have a talk on irresponsible children in today's society. Our guests for today's program are
Halimatu Sadia Al Hassan.
Rahmatu Gibrin. Okay, so today we are going to explore the behaviors, influences, and challenges shaping children's sense of responsibility and discuss practical ways parents, tutors, and communities can guide toward building a disciplined, accountable, and socially conscious individuals. So to begin with, Hajia Rahmatu Gibrin, in today's generation, do you think children are becoming more irresponsible or our expectations of them are changing with time?
I would say they are a bit irresponsible, but then I would lean more on the fact that the society that has changed. It's our expectations of them that has changed over time. Because when we look at our older generations and then these generations, there are lots of things that has changed. Consider in our older generations, there are some things if you do there, it's considered irresponsible. But when you do it here, it's okay, it's normal. So all these might reduce social media factors and just the what is the what is evolving. Things are changing, new things are coming. So although they might be a bit irresponsible, but then the society too is the view that the society looks at them with. Yeah.
So Halimatu Sadia Hassan, anything to add up to what Hajia Ramat said?
Well, adding up to what my sister Ramati has said, discipline and accountability has now reduced in our society because technology has now been what comforts we the youth. And besides, I also say that what we see to be basic responsibility has now tended to be too strict. So therefore, it makes we the youth so irresponsible.
All said are brutal facts. And as we proceed, the second question on my list is, what are some clear examples or behaviors that show irresponsibility among children today, both at home and in school?
Well, for me, I think school should be the first place. Although we always say home is the first school of every child, but then I think also when school are able to enforce discipline on students, when they are able to make what is bad taught to the kids that it should be rather the good way, then I think that would be the best. And also laziness as well and disrespect to elders is also another factor to what you just asked me. And it is also letting us have less focus on our manners and honesty within our society.
So, as my sister Alima here said, I would at home, some of the irresponsibilities could be neglecting our chores, disrespecting our elders. It could be your parents, your siblings, not be responsible for your actions. And this affects us in a long way because let's take social media. When we are so focused on social media, we tend to lose focus in real life. Like we have short spans for important things, and then this could gradually lead into laziness because at most of the time you could find yourself that if you have a very important thing to do, but you will leave it and then later you find yourself just scrolling through the social media doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So this leads to laziness and then so many factors as Alima also said here. Thank you very much, dear sisters. I hope a lot are learning from us. They are really learning from us. And then the Jabarian community, we thank you very much for bringing such a great program for others to also benefit. Now, moving on. Do you think the root of irresponsibility begins at home, in school, or within the society as a whole?
I say it's a blend of all. They all integrate into each other at a point because when you look all they say home is the children's our parents are our first teachers, which is true because whatever children depict at home is what they display outside. If you come from a very violent home, abusive home, where insults are like everyday thing, when children go out, definitely that's the behavior
they will be depicting outside. But if you come from a responsible home, you will be responsible. And then it might not be necessarily true because some children come from a very responsible home, but society corrupts them, which is also the same as school. The society might not be corrupt, the parents might not be corrupt, but the school will corrupt them. So I'll say it's a blend of all.
Well, adding up to what my sister here said, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ku anfusakum wa ahlikum naro. O you who believe, protect yourselves and your family from a fire which is fuel with what people and stone. So yes, the community is a big influence, but it starts from home, which is the family, like my sister Rama here mentioned. So definitely, if the society begins to be an influence, then it is also merged with social media. So I think I also go with what she said. Definitely.
Welcome back from the commercial break. You are still tuned in to Jabarian Ladies Circle, and with unity we conquer. Proceeding. Has the decline of moral and social education contributed to children becoming less responsible?
Yes, greatly. I believe what she said because we know that our moral and religious education teaches us on honesty, teaches us on duty and humility as well. So definitely, if they are being removed or ignored from our lessons in school, it's really going to affect us. Therefore, it reduces our clear sense on what is right and what is wrong. And although I know most of our grandparents also they stand against this formal education because they believe that it doesn't promote the religious part of our life, but therefore they don't get the concept because the youth are not giving them the concept into hands. So therefore, I think that if we put in place these moral education into our school system and we enforce them on students, I think we have a good thing to go ahead of. Because without it, then we the youth we become selfish, we become so irresponsible, and that's going to affect our society very well.
Realize that in modern times, in these modern times, we are more focused on academics rather than the social and then the moral life. I mean, it's all about school education, books, about the integrity, the knowledge, the honesty, the respect, the discipline that we got from the past. It's not really instilled in us in these modern times, which will make us the youth. Sometimes we'll do something, we'll be irresponsible, unintentional. Sometimes we'll be doing things we will not even know we are doing, which is irresponsible because you're not getting the proper education that we are supposed to be given, okay? Because it's all about school, go to school, do this, knowledge. What about harness? What happens to integrity? What happens to teaching us discipline? They don't, you understand? So sometimes we do things unintentionally. We'll be doing things we don't even know they're irresponsible. We just keeping on doing it.
Thank you very much, dear sisters. That's a really great point. You know, sometimes I think moral education has taken a back seat. Back in the days when our tutors and then our parents would just look at you and then they will just scold you. And then sometimes even their eye contact alone, it speaks to you. But these days you try to correct a child and then the child will be like, Mommy, please, you're stressing my mental health. Like, should it be so?
By the way. Like it's so funny actually. So moving to our final question. What role should parents play in shaping responsible children and how can they balance with love and discipline? And then your final message. What would you give to parents, teachers, and young people about building a responsible generation for the youth?
Building a responsible generation is a collective effort. It's not a one-man job. So teachers, parents, our elders in the society, we call upon you all to help us to be more responsible, set good examples, correct us when we are wrong, and then I think this would help us to be very responsible individuals. This will empower us. This will show us discipline.
Our parents should often communicate with us. You shouldn't always be like, you won, you call singer, you are really being hard on us, and it is really affecting us. So they should try to communicate with us. They should reward us when we do the right thing, and also give us care when we do the wrong thing, and not treat us with anger. And my final word to every single parent and youth out there is that we should know that together we can conquer. Together we can make out the best. So our parents should treat us with love. You should also exhibit with humility, and we the teachers also, we should try also with our possible best, teach the student with purpose. Treat them and let them know that there is a passion behind what you are giving out. So every member of the society also should make sure that you see every child out there as your child and not a stranger. Thank you.
Wow, what a meaningful and eye-opening discussion it has been today. Have you learned today? Have you made impact today? A big thank you to our wonderful guests, Rahmat and Halima, for sharing such thoughtful insight. To our amazing listeners for staying tuned with us throughout the program. As we have heard today, responsibility begins at home and grows in school and is strengthened by the community around us. As members of the Jabarian Ladies Circle, let's continue to guide our children with love, discipline, and strong moral values because the future depends on the foundation we build today. Until next time, I am Yusuf Amatul Hanan. Jabarian Ladies Circle, with unity we conquer.